What's going on, everyone? It's Jacqueline here from Nothing But Tech. Welcome back to another video. This one has been a really requested one, and also it's pretty long overdue. So I moved into this space in June of last year. So it's been almost a full year. And it's kind of evolved over time, and there's still a lot more work to be done. It's definitely still a work in progress, but I want to show it to you guys and kind of show you where we're at. I'm going to show you the holistic view of it, and then I'm going to have a more dedicated desk setup video also in the works, so subscribe if you want to see that. But this space has honestly been perfect, and throughout this video, I'm going to tell you why it has fit so well into my needs. One of the main reasons is lighting, but before we do that, let's just look at this front area. So it's kind of like an L shape, so it's split into three parts. So this is like the work area, then we'll see like kind of the living area, and then the shooting area. But I do end up actually shooting in all areas of the studio, as you've seen in a lot of videos. So over here, we just have the regular door, and then I also put a little hoop on it, and it says MBT, the letters of the space, which is nice. And I have a ball that goes into it, but this was not the most brilliant placement because if you miss, it slams into the desk. So I'm not gonna show you that today. But when we move over here, this is the first part. This is what you see immediately when you walk in. And I put this here because if someone wants to get something or come in, I can quickly move over to the door. So this is a Jarvis sit-stand desk made by Fully. I've been using it now for actually years. That's kind of nuts. They were in my original home office setup, and they're just honestly the best sit-stand desk company. They sent out a bunch of stuff for this office, so thank you to them for doing that and making this possible. But a couple reasons why I love this desk. The finish, it's like this metallic finish, which looks really nice. It's also like a 70+ inch desk, so it's really long. It's pretty narrow though, so it doesn't take up too much room. And the coolest thing about it is the fact that it sits stand. So I'll show you guys, it's motorized. And what you can do here is with a little clicker on the side, you can raise and lower it just like that. It's not that loud and it works really well. So it looks great. We have two of them in the office. You'll see the second one shortly. But this one is really my main area where I'm working. I have a Macbook Pro, so I do edit a ton of stuff on the laptop, but when I'm in here, this is where I'm going. So a quick overview, and then there's gonna be a more dedicated look. So we have the desk, we have audio engine speakers, LG 5K monitor that hooks up to the MacBook Pro. It's a really great display, as you can see. Then we have over here, a Logitech keyboard. We have an MX Master. This is kind of like the YouTuber mouse. It's great, it's really ergonomic and comfortable. If you're a righty, it's for you. On an extended mouse pad. A lot of the stuff has stayed the same actually since the last episode. MacBook Pro here in a stand, and then something cool that I did modify this desk with is over here, I added a hub, and that stuck to the desk so I can easily get access to my ports that I've lost in the MacBook Pro. And then what's staring you right in the face right here is another product from Fully. This is an awesome chair. So I actually just got them in and I'm kind of in love with it. So it's a really tall chair, first of all, which is great with a desk like this because that means that I don't have to move this desk up and down when I'm trying to work. I like to move a lot through the day. It's healthy to do that. So when I'm standing, I can just go immediately to sitting because of how high this chair is. So when you're sitting on it, you can sit on it in a bunch of different ways, which is kind of why I like it so much. So this is a way to sit on it. You can sit on it facing forward, and it's really good for your posture as well because of the way it makes you sit. And then you have an armrest in the back. And then probably my favorite way to sit on it is the most unconventional, but you can sit on it backwards actually. You can sit on it like this and then do your work and lean forward. And it's actually surprisingly really comfortable. So I've kind of been in love with this chair. We have 3 different chairs in them. So when I'm not using the chair, I'm standing. I like to move around a lot, as I've already said, and it's kind of healthier for you to do that. So they have this little stand, which makes it really comfortable. I'm definitely a little spoiled now. Anytime I go from this to regular carpet, I'm bummed. So you can just stand here and do your work, and then I can pull the chair back over. So it definitely, first of all, makes my posture better, but then it also just forces me to be a little more mindful of how I'm sitting and standing. When you're sitting or standing at a computer for hours, it's good to just get a little movement in. So that's this desk. On the floor here, I need to get a table for it. As I said, a work in progress. Is a Synology NAS storage drives. So that's a ton of storage on there. And they actually have not been working properly. So I've been using a lot of Samsung T5s because of that. I'm working on getting that fixed, and then it should be A1. That's kind of where I back up all of my media, and it's network attached storage, which is why we're having a slight issue with it. But that's this desk. A more thorough look is coming soon with the actual tech. But let's move back over here to show you some of the other stuff. In this area, this is kind of the overhead rig. So you can see we have a C-stand, and this is where the camera will be placed, and then we have another Jarvis sit-stand desk. And here's why this is amazing for this use case. So you have it as a desk, but then you also can have it as like a workstation. And what's so great about this is that when I'm sitting here, if I need to get the framing better, instead of moving the C-stand and risking it toppling over or something, because I do not have the most secure head on it, I can simply raise and lower the desk. So actually just 2 days ago, I was shooting a video on the Samsung Galaxy S10, and I wanted to get a closer look at just the screen. And this enabled me to do that. I just raised it up and it worked perfectly. And here right now we have just my computer, laptop sleeve, the audio that's being recorded for this video, and then a remote. You're gonna see what I use this for shortly. And then just a typical C-stand. A really nice thing about this desk is also that it has outlets on the top. So it has a regular outlet, it has USB Type-C and USB Type-A. That's really awesome, so I can just plug in a USB Type-C cable and be set. And cable management on here is also pretty good. It comes in with some built-in stuff as well. And then in the back here, I just have some storage. So my cases that I take with me when I travel, so the SKB rolling case, and it's like the perfect size for taking on an airplane. They just hit under that regulation. In-case backpack, that's what I'm taking to a lot of events when I take all my camera gear. Another one of those chairs, which are just like epic, and this is in like a shorter position, so it's obviously gonna be easier for me to get on it. But they're just really comfortable chairs. I cannot say enough good things about them. And I know a lot of people use other chairs, but what I really like about these chairs that I'm just testing out is the fact that it's good for me. Like, I feel like I have better posture in them, and they're so comfortable, especially like the armrest. It's really comfortable, so cannot say enough good things about them. Over here we have a little storage cabinet, and then on top of that I keep a water, as you can see right now, and then a Shark Slider F1 Pelican case. This is where I'm keeping all my SD cards, and it fits a ton of them, and then I flip them over when they need to be cleared. And then another tripod. Sometimes we do 2 angles, and it's kind of nice to just have a really robust, good tripod for that. And then in here, just some storage and stuff like that. So this is the second part of the office, and with this office, I wanted to make sure that everything was like cohesive and like flowed into each other. And I also wanted to keep a consistent color theme. So 2 of my good friends like helped me find all the stuff for this, but I used a lot of white, pink, gray, and black, and that's kind of what you're gonna see throughout the space, kind of a modernized look. And I also wanted every part of the office to be like photogenic. So I film a lot of different B-roll shots in different areas of the office. So this is the living room area. So in here, you can see that we have a TV, and this is from Sharp. It's a 4K smart TV, which is kind of great, actually. And I'm able to watch YouTube, Netflix. I don't really get to watch a ton of TV, but if I'm waiting for a video to export or someone's over and I'm showing them the space, it's good. And it also looks good in the background of some A-roll as well. I haven't used it a ton for that, but I've used it in a couple videos. It's on a TV stand from Wayfair. Almost all the furniture, if it's not from Fully, is from Wayfair. They make a lot of great stuff that's really affordable. So this is an awesome TV stand with LED built in. So right now it's on the blue setting. Then underneath I have a little silver tray with some pink candy, again keeping that theme. And then in here there's some built-in storage, which is really nice. So I can keep different cables and different things like that in here, and then it just kind of tucks away like that. So this is a great stand, and it kind of perfectly fit the TV, and it's a Roku TV, so it has a lot of smart stuff on it. Moving over to this part, this is a really comfortable couch. I'm actually not sure where we got this couch, but it's great. It's this charcoal color, which is kind of like a main part of the studio. When you walk in, you notice it right away. It's so comfortable. I can't overstate that, honestly. And it's pretty great also in terms of some texture for B-roll. You've probably seen a lot of product shots on this, or with me using a phone while sitting on here. It's great. And then we have this pillow. It's a custom pillow with my logo on it, so we just have a couple pillows on here. And then the other pillows are from Dormify, also a great company that makes some pretty cool stuff. I'll try to link everything below. That's gonna be a nightmare later for me to try to find everything, but I'll do my best to do that. But I think it looks really nice. And then when you're watching TV or something, you could just kind of sit on the couch and watch, and it has enough room for 3 people. And then if we need more room, we just come over here and we have this other chair, also from Wayfair, also an extremely comfortable chair with this cool pillow. which has like reverse sequence, which are like kind of addicting to play with. I'll be sitting here for like 10 minutes. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? I'm just playing with it, but it's a cool pillow and it's pink as well. Then we have the coffee table. Guess where it's also from? Wayfair. And that is a really good table as well. And it has this really nice white gloss look to it. So I have a bunch of phones on here. There's a lot more phones in the office, but here's just like 6 of them. And then of course, the Creator Award. Just unboxed this on the channel. If you missed it, I'm gonna link it below. But this is just such a cool thing. I felt like I had to display it in the office. So this is kind of the living room set. There's not too much going on here. I want to keep everything minimalistic in here just because there's so much video gear. So it's really important that I have the ability to move everything around. And then aside from this space, I also just want to mention the light that I'm using to kind of light this all up. So there's overhead lights in here, but they create kind of a greenish hue in video, so I don't really use them. I'm using, and it's going to be really overexposed, but the Aperture 120D, which kind of brings me to this remote control. I almost just tripped over the light. Kind of brings me to this remote control, which can be used on the light. So it's really easy, especially if you're like a one-person crew and you're shooting your own A-roll or something. You could just tone it down, raise it up, and be able to monitor that. So it's a great light. It's a giant light, so it takes up a lot of the room, but I know it's expensive, but for what you're getting, it's actually a really good quality. I would highly, highly recommend this. You only really need one of these. I use 2 lights, but this is the main light, and it's really great. So nothing but good things to say about that as well. All right, so then transitioning to the third part of the room, so you can see like the L shape here. So this is kind of the main film area. And over here, this is where a lot of the A-roll is filmed. So this brings me to one of the main reasons why I decided that this was the space for the office, and that's the windows behind me. So there's 3 giant windows. Yes, that background is real. That's like commonly asked all the time. It is real, and it looks really good. So we get it kind of in all seasons and in all times of day. So sometimes it's like the sun is setting and it looks awesome. Sometimes it's really bright, but I really love what it kind of does for the set, and it creates like a really natural feel. So I'm really happy with the way that looks. And that was one of the main factors in actually picking this spot over another spot. So that's the window. This is the main area where we film. So we normally have the aperture light like right here. We have this Manfrotto tripod. And this is the Manfrotto 190 Go, which I would kind of recommend, except that the mechanism for locking like sucks so much. It's really bad and it's annoying. But otherwise it's great. We have the fluid head on top. It's the 502, I believe. Do not quote me on that though. And then we have another light, and this is kind of what we use. Since I have long hair, sometimes shadows arise on my neck when we're just using one light. So we kind of use this light to fill it in. It's just a regular LED light from Amazon. It's called the Studio Pro S600D. It's pretty good, and it does the job well enough. A mic stand here, just from Amazon. It doesn't work great, but I've had it for like 3 years now, and it's fine. Connected to that is the Sennheiser, I think MKE600. The really popular one is the MKH416, I think. But this one is a little bit cheaper, and it produces pretty good sound quality. I have my eye on the 416 for sure, but this was only like $300 or $400, and it's doing a really good job. Then over here, we have this awesome gimbal that I actually just got from B&H, and it's really great. So it's this gimbal that I can use to get more stable shots. We're actually shooting this studio tour on the same gimbal, a second one, but it works really, really well. If I turn it on, it locks right into place, and then we're ready to go. So it will give you really smooth shots. You can adjust up and down, like the tilt with a side control, and then you can adjust the side to side with another control. So there's a ton of controls here, and it's actually pretty affordable as well, considering what you get. So it's been great. I haven't gotten to use it a ton, but when I'm like traveling or on the go, this is a great option. And also I can control it with my phone. So if I want to put this somewhere and then be in the shot, if I'm only shooting by myself, I can then adjust it with my phone, which is really nice. And then it also has the adjustments here. So it's a great gimbal. I'm gonna link this below as well. Then this chair here looks a little unconventional, and it looks like it wouldn't be comfortable, but it's actually extremely comfortable. It's also from Fully, and I'm gonna link it below as well. I can't remember the name off the top of my head of it, but it's really good. You kind of just sit in it with like your legs in the back, and it's really comfortable, and it also, again, makes you have good posture, which is always a good thing. So I used to use a different chair here, but now I'm going to try to start using this in the future because it doesn't have a back, so it looks a little cleaner for the A-roll. This is normally how I'm sitting, right here, with the windows in the back. And it's also pretty tall as well, so you can just adjust it and it gets really high. So that's great. Awesome chair and really comfortable. And then we have the windows. course, which are going to be pretty overexposed right now, but they're great. And as I've already mentioned, they're one of the main reasons why I got this space. So I do want to spice things up a little bit though and create like a second set. So if I'm not using the windows over here, I'm going to paint this wall kind of like the YouTuber dark gray. So right now it's like this off-white, which most of the studio is, but I kind of want to paint the studio all white and then this off-gray. So that's something that you should expect soon. We have a LifeX light on the floor. I use a ton of LifeX products, and this is a great one. So it has this purple hue that's often creating a little reflection in the back. And on here we have some pink and black gumballs, a little notebook, and these are just kind of props for the background. And also for overhead shots, I can put one in and it kind of spices it up. And then this is the LifeX light. This is a great lamp. It was pretty inexpensive as well, so I'm happy with it. And that's like mainly it. It's not a ton going on, but each different area has its own purpose, and I'm a big fan of that. And I think it looks pretty good also. So it was a really big goal of the channel to get an office space. It's definitely still a work in progress, but I think it's a really good work in progress. I'm really happy with the way it looks so far. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe because I'm gonna have that desk setup video coming very soon. Check out the links in the description for the products I mentioned in this video. Subscribe right here, check out another video right here. I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye.